I think it's fair to say that Rebecca is quite controversial at the moment. This is thanks in no small part to a very powerful skill that, amongst other things, gives you one of the most powerful cards ever printed in Yu-Gi-Oh! For basically no cost. Is this your doing, Casablancas? Do you even play anymore? Just a couple of weeks ago, the entire ladder was populated by FTK decks enabled by this skill, which in turn resulted in one of the funniest ban lists of all time, taking care of a lot of burn spells, which ultimately wasn't enough, seeing how there are still many FTKs going around, some of which winning without even burning you, and some of which kill you with tapeworms. Good job, Konami! Truth be told, there's not one singular problem here, but two problems, one of which is the completely obscene skill, which we're gonna talk about in a minute, but the other of which is some cards just do full burn damage in Duel Links, despite burn damage being adjusted in 2020 all the way back when Zexal released. Nordic Tapeworm here is one such example of a card whose burn damage was never halved, as is Gem Knight Lady Lapis Lazuli, which thankfully isn't being used in the Rebecca FTK but is being used in another FTK, as well as Elephant Statue of Disaster, which used to be used in Rebecca FTKs, but to my knowledge this one doesn't really see play anymore. And a couple of other cards which honestly, I'm just gonna say the line that I've been saying for literal years now, we need to have burn damage, and we needed to do that several years ago, and we certainly already needed to really do that all the way back in 2023 when Neos Wise Men and Ubel the Ultimate Nightmare were punching you for all of your life points. Jesus Christ, how many times have I used this thumbnail? That's kind of embarrassing. I hope nobody notices. So while having burn damage would definitely do a lot to prevent all the FTK burn decks from flourishing, it's only really half of the problem because, like we said before, some of the Rebecca decks don't even FTK you with burn damage. So I think it's time to take a look at the skill once and for all and decide what is objectively the best way to address it. Now this skill, being a skill released in 2025, has a lot of text on it. Let's read it together. You can use this skill's second and third effects once per duel if your deck contains no more than 4 non-light and non-wind monsters, which is kind of a weird condition. You know, it's a put in a skill, but sure, go ahead. You cannot normal special summon, excluding special summons from the extra deck because, of course, any monsters except Guardian Angel Joanne and Dragon monsters. You can normal summon one Guardian Angel Joanne, I don't know how to say their name, during your main phase in addition to your normal summon or set, and Guardian Angel Juan can be normal summoned or set without tributing. Ooh, that's a big lady. Oh no, you can put a big lady on the field for free. This is a skill that could have been printed in 2019. If it stopped there. Reveal 1 Luster Dragon, 2 Luster Dragon or Guardian Angel Juan from your hand. Add 1 Guardian Angel Joanne or 1 Dragon normal monster from your deck to your hand. Then send 1 Dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard. That's a lot of text, but basically it's just a switcheroo that also sets up your graveyard, which, sure. But it is an important switcheroo, because it gets you to the big lady. If you control Guardian Angel Joe, add 1 Graceful Charity and 1 Stomping Destruction from outside your deck to your hand. Then play up to 1 Luster Dragon 2 and 1 Luster Dragon, up to 2 cards total, from your deck to your field in face down defense position. Its battle position can be changed. Okay, this is the part that people take umbrage with, and it's understandable. Now this is where I'm gonna be a little bit toxic, but I kinda like this skill, if only because it enables a very funky Dragon Link kinda deck that does produce a handboard that is somewhat formidable, but is not unbeatable by any means. Forbidden Droplet is in the game, people. Also, Disruption exists. So the idea, if we're to adjust the skill, is to maintain this version of the deck playable, but prevent the other versions that are no fun. So here's the skill being broken down into paragraphs for readability. It's still a lot of text, and we're gonna add even more text onto it. Actually, we're gonna remove some text. What if we replace that very first condition with you cannot summon or set monsters with a level except Guardian Angel Joanne and Dragon monsters? I think that would do a lot to take care of the FTKs. When you think about it, Big Tapeworm monster is a monster with a level, and Sure, that's a dragon, but in order to get to it, you need to summon a big Acer monster. That's not a dragon. Same with Ojama King, that's not a dragon either. And also I've seen some FTKs using Ultimate Obedient Fiend. I didn't even know this card existed before. Who made this? As far as the Dragon Link version of the deck is concerned, I think the only monsters from the extra deck with a level that this deck plays are the Dragon Maid fusions. As for Hieratic, Dragon King of Atom, and Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres, which are also part of this deck's combo and end board, they don't have a level, but even if they did, they are dragon monsters. Hooray! I did consider an even more punitive version of the skill that only allowed you to play light and wind monsters as a way to cut down on all of the dark, the big snake, and the ultimate obedient fiend, which is a fire. But I didn't like it because I felt like it penalized the actual Dragon Link deck a bit too much. For instance, one such non-light, non-wind monster that this deck plays, that was a mouthful, is Background Dragon, which... Could you have any more pixels? Which is a card that you can send to your graveyard with your skill and then special summon along with a Luster Dragon to go into Nightmare Phoenix, enabling a turn 2 that's not nearly as bad. Additionally, the deck also often uses Blaster, not this one Blaster, not this one Blaster, wrong game Blaster, as another potential level 7 that recurs itself. It's really cool that this deck plays 2 Dragon Rulers. I think that's super cool. And I know what you're all thinking here. Wait, is this a real Transformers Magic the Gathering card? Or like this doesn't really see print, did it? Yes it did! There was a whole series of such cards, and I'm a huge Transformers fan, but I thought it was kinda whack. Anyway, back to our broken skill. This change doesn't really take care of the burn issue now, does it? Because like, you're just using the really powerful Graceful Charity to draw your cool burn spells anyways, so why does it matter that you can summon all this stuff? Well, worry not, because I thought of everything. A simple way to prevent you from taking burn damage is just to literally prevent you from taking burn damage by adding an additional clause. It probably wouldn't go there. It would probably go a bit higher. But it says you cannot deal effect damage to your opponent this turn except with the effect of Stamping Destruction. This way, the skill remains on theme, because you get a Stamping Destruction for free, you might as well deal damage with it, but without being able to be abused to FTK your opponent. Also, you know, like I said earlier, we could just be having burn damage. Something that I've been requesting repeatedly for a very long time now. Konami, just do it, please! Of course, all of these changes are just for taking care of the FTKs. They don't really do anything to address this deck's competitiveness, since the competitive version of this deck doesn't play any cheap or burn spells, and would remain 100% playable under these new skill conditions. But it is a strong deck in the current format, and maybe Konami will want to take a look at it eventually. Like maybe at some point they're gonna realize that giving Graceful Charity, a card that is banned in pretty much every format and can't even be played with 3 in the fun format of this game, might be a bit too much. Maybe they're gonna adjust that eventually. And to be fair, there would be a lot of material here for a longer discussion about how to adjust each and every one of these top decks, but I don't want to do that right now. This is not this video. Maybe a future video, but not this one. However, I do have an in at Konami that has told me what exactly is going to happen in the next ban list. You ready for this? Yogamon, Naruga, as well as Reprodarchus are both being moved to Limited 1. Thank you for playing Duel Links. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Additionally, if you want to support me further, you can check out my Ko-fi in the video description or become a YouTube channel member. I'd like to thank my Ko-fi donators: Dingus, Stardish Boy 0, Jimmy Zia, Yanke, Sile, Mark Lu, Fortuner16, Yabi Sector Guru, All Price, and Exorcist, as well as my YouTube members: Sterne, Crimson Reaper 5, Troy Bolton, Genius Wannabe, and Steel Lelouch. Thank you all for the support. And that's all there's to say, really. Rebecca was a mistake, and AM Casablancas will pay for his sins. Thank you for watching this video once again. Take care, everyone. I will see you all next time.